Stephen, how do you approach these final fixtures of the season now?
Exactly the same how we approach every game here at Rangers. You go in to try and win. It's a little bit different than how the season's looked really in terms of preparation time. We've had a lot of time on the training ground to plan and prepare because the games are coming every week now, so that helps. So we should be going in well drilled and really looking forward to this game. We're on the back of two good wins with clean sheets, and we want to build on them performances.
Sometimes this season results against the top six sides have suffered, but you've got a very good record against Hearts. What's enabled you to get the better of them in your eyes?
Well, look, it'll be a tough match. I'm sure they're very confident for qualifying to get to the final, so I'm sure that the spirit's been really good in their camp, and Craig will have them well drilled. They're a tough team to beat, very physical. It's a very intimidating atmosphere down at Tynecastle. I'm sure their fans will be up for it, so we need to be ready to face that challenge, but remember that we're going there to play the Rangers way, and that's to play football in the right way and try and do whatever we can to win the game.
I know things here are always assessed and looked at and analysed, but generally it's the time of season when people start to judge how a job has been done or how much progress has been made or otherwise. The club chairman has spoken this week and he says Rangers are within tangible reach of becoming the dominant force in Scotland once again. Does that marry up with your own analysis of where things sit so far?
Well, I think obviously the chairman's well within his rights to have his opinion. I certainly respect and welcome his opinion. I caught up with him recently on the phone and we had a very in-depth chat about where we are, the areas where we feel like we've progressed, the areas where I feel as if we fell short, and we had a really honest and open conversation. I'm going to be catching up with him face to face in the coming weeks as well. In terms of the statement, he's obviously well within his rights to say what he believes and what his opinion is. In terms of tangible Scottish dominance, for me, I don't think it's sensible for me to make any predictions. For me, the challenge is to have this squad and this team ready to compete for what's available in next season. I don't have to really look further than that. We want to finish this season as strong as we can and try and take as many points as we can, and then we want to get ourselves best prepared to have another go next year to win the next trophy that's available, and that's the League Cup.
Dominant is a strong word, so let's park that for a second. But in terms of the preparations for next season and the discussions you've had, what encouragement have you had in terms of backing, resources, the general feel of encouragement for the next campaign?
Well, I think it's very clear we do need backing. I'm not a guy who's got a magic wand and all of a sudden, turns Rangers into a dominant force overnight. Everyone knows, and every manager will say the same thing. You do need backing from your board and your chairman, of course. That's the truth. That's a fact that we need that to happen. There has been progress made in a lot of areas that I'm very pleased and happy about. And I've also made it clear to the chairman where I feel we need to improve in the 11, in the squad, moving forward to make sure that we're capable of competing and tasting that first bit of success. I believe once we get that, then that'll help us to grow and achieve more things together.
You did say in the statement that yourself and Mark would get backing in the summer. Is that a conversation that he's had with you yet about what the backing would be?
Not in detail. I've obviously read the statement and as I say, we've had a conversation, so it is nice to hear that backing will be there. In terms of what level, the amount and stuff, I don't think that's for the public domain. We'll have to wait and see, but it was nice that he identified that there has been a lot of hard work going on. Myself, the coaching staff, the recruitment team, that never stops. I think the players deserve a lot of credit considering where they were 12 months ago to where they are now. But the message to the players is quite clear. We need to continue to work hard and keep improving because there's still a way to go before we're ready to compete for real.
Before you get there, you've obviously got 5 big games coming up. Is it just a case of looking back at the last 2 games and try to continue that into the final part of the season?
I think we need to try and build on them last 2 performances. I think they were very strong. We played some really good stuff in possession, but the thing that makes me more happy is that we defended very well. We were aggressive, and there's no signs of players thinking that the season's done. That's going to be the important thing for me to keep pushing them, because I won't have any individual or I won't have it as a group if we try and take our foot off the gas and think the season's done. Players are playing for the future here. It's as simple as that.
Have you set the squad's target of what you want to get out of these 5 games, or where you want to be at the end of them?
No, we just take each game as it comes. We want to try and take maximum points tomorrow, and that's the only challenge that I'll set the team, and then we'll look forward to the next game after that.
Is that 5 games an important kind of platform to build on, even for looking at the next season, to finish the season with confidence?
No, we don't have to think about next season. We've got a full off season, we've got a full pre-season to focus on the targets and the ambitions for next season. That'll come. We've got plenty of time to focus on that. Things will happen behind the scenes in preparation for that, of course they will, in terms of plans for pre-season, friendly matches and targets and recruitment. That's normal at any club. The players only have to focus on tomorrow's game and trying to get 3 points.
I know you spoke a bit about Stephen's form after the previous couple of games. How impressed have you been with how he's come back into the team and settled down now?
Well, I think Stephen's turned up here. He's missed an awful lot of football, and I'm sure he'll agree. You can train as much as you want for as long as you want, but until you're actually playing regular games at a certain intensity, you can't find your 100% match fitness and sharpness, and you don't really feel yourself until you're playing regular football. So it was always going to take a little bit of time, but because he's Stephen Davis, everyone expects him to take to it like duck to water, because he's been here before and he's won and he's played at such a high level. So I suppose it was about all of us needing to be a little bit patient, the player, the manager, the coaching staff and the supporters, and now we've got him at the level where he's happy and he's confident and he's affecting games, and I've been really happy with his form of late.
Was that a frustrating time when you first came back up, or did you always, like the manager says, no, you maybe have to be a bit patient as well?
Yeah, of course. I think even for myself personally, I expected to come in and sort of kick off straight away, but I think whenever you take a step back and look at the game time that I had over the past 12, 18 months, then it's not always going to work out like that there. As the manager said, obviously it's difficult to replicate the same intensity in training no matter how much training you do. So it's been good to get some game time. I've thoroughly enjoyed the last couple of games, and as we say, we want to try and build on that now and finish the season as strongly as possible.
Take it, the manager's talking about finishing the season strongly, given that you've had to kind of be patient, you will be more eager than anybody to do that. Yeah,
definitely. At this point, we didn't have a game last weekend actually. I'm sure some of the boys were glad of the break, but for me, I've enjoyed being in the team the last couple of games, enjoyed playing the role that I have as well, so I'm looking forward to the 5 remaining games.
Your loan deal expires in the summer. Have you thought beyond the summer yet?
Yeah, I think we've had conversations, and I think obviously that's something we'll look to do, but just concentrating the games at the minute, but obviously I would like to be here.
Is that something that you've expressed to the club, that you would like to be here, and you hope that your performances before the end of the season will prove that you can be the man to help take this club forward?
Yeah, hopefully. I feel I've got a big part to play. I feel I can bring a lot to the team. I think we've got a hungry group of players there. We've got a real desire to obviously start bringing trophies back to the club, but there's been a lot of good work and good progress done this season, and we need to try and take that to another level next year.
Can I get you to put your Northern Ireland hat on for a moment? Scotland now looking for a new manager. The criticism that is often levelled at Scotland is, well, why can't Scotland do what Northern Ireland do? What enables your group of players to maximise their resources?
I think it's been built up over a period of time in terms of our progression, in terms of the team on the pitch, to get togetherness we have. I think even if you look at Michael's record, whenever he first came in, went through a difficult period with results. But I think everybody could see the bigger picture in terms of what he was trying to build there, and the players really bought into that as well. So, unfortunately in football you don't get a lot of time, everything's instant, but sometimes you need to look at the bigger picture and see the work that's been done and the progress that's been made, and ultimately then hopefully then that'll snowball and results will come. Yeah,
do you see a group of players in Scotland, because you play against a lot of them, you'll know a lot of them, that could do more, could do something like you guys have done, because you've had fantastic relative success over the last...
Yeah, well, I think if you look at different nations like ourselves in Iceland, obviously smaller nations with a smaller group of players, in Scotland are in a very similar position with the quality that they've got. You wouldn't compare the two squads too indifferently, so I think there's real scope for Scotland to improve and be a strong force in the international scene. But obviously my only focus is Northern Ireland.
Steve, can I just ask you what you feel, having played under quite a few international managers, what makes a good international manager?
Well, I think it's the manager and the coach's philosophy, and the players really believing in that. So I think obviously you feel for Alec at the moment, who's recently just lost his job and is very raw at the moment. He's a good man and he's been an excellent manager all over the years, but now it's time to look forward, and I think the SFA have got to identify the best man for the job. Someone with a proven track record who can bring the best out of players and has a way of playing that is going to be successful on the international stage.
You mentioned that tough time you had at Northern Ireland. Do you think maybe Scotland need to go through that to blood youngsters and get them in and maybe just say there might be a couple of years where we don't maybe achieve what we want to achieve, but it'll be worth it in the long run?
Yeah, well, I think whenever obviously managers change, they obviously bring different ideas, and whenever that happens, then there's constant change of what players are being asked for in the team. So I think certainly for now, like anybody coming into our squad that we've got, everybody knows and certainly what their roles and responsibilities are within their position. So of course you've got to be very organised to give you an opportunity to be successful. So that's maybe something Scotland need to look at.
Any notable absentees?
No, just what you know really, the suspensions. Everyone else is fit and available for selection.